Good afternoon. Welcome to Urbandale Chamber Spotlight on Business. I'm Janice Wissenand, Membership Director with the Urbandale Chamber of Commerce. Today we have a very special guest with us. We have Wayne Fry, and Wayne is with ICA Wealth Advisors.
Advisors.
Advisors. I don't know why I keep wanting to say advisory. Maybe because I think of you as an advisory board.
It is absolutely true. We provide advisory services, so it's natural, I think, to do that.
Nice save. Thanks for taking care of me there.
Oh, no problem.
So Wayne, tell me all about that. What do you do at ICA?
Well, we are a firm of 4 different financial advisors, including myself, and an office manager. And our focus is really on trying to help our clients achieve the goals that are most important in their lives. We are financial planners. There are 2 certified financial planners, if you're familiar with that. And if not, I could kind of talk about that a little bit as well. We have a chartered financial consultant, and then we have another individual that's been with us for 25 years. Collectively, Janice, I think we have close to 90 years of experience in our office.
That's a lot. Okay, so you are going to need to walk me through what those all mean.
Okay, not a problem. I am a certified financial planner, also known as a CFP. And probably the best way, I think, to understand that is to have an appreciation for what it takes to earn that designation. It is something that was done by the Certified Financial Planning Board many years ago to try to have the financial planning practice be a profession much like a doctor or an attorney might be. And so to do that, you have to have standards, and the standards have to be relatively high. And so the standards for being a certified financial planner are you have to, first of all, graduate from a 4-year school of some sort. You don't need to necessarily major in business. However, I did. And I went to the University of Northern Iowa. I was a proud Panther.
Excellent.
And then after that, you have to have some practical experience working in the financial services field. Then you need to get educated in some of the basics, the fundamentals, if you will, of things like financial planning, insurance planning, tax planning, investment planning, estate planning, some of the big topics that most people, from a financial perspective, really need to be taking a look at with their lives. So once you provide that you can test out of the courses that you have to take there, you have to pass courses in each of those subjects. Then you have to sit for a comprehensive, at the time I did it, a 2-day test that's all encompassing for all of those particular subjects. And then if you can pass that, you become a certified financial planner.
And you actually have 2 certified financial planners in your office.
Yes, we do.
Okay,
Yes.
excellent. And then you indicated you had another individual, a chartered
Financial consultant.
Well, now what's the difference with the CFP compared to the chartered?
I would say they're relative peers of one another. They both involve a tremendous amount of education and practice, but there's no board that really certifies the CHFCs like they do the CFPs. From a consumer standpoint, that's important, I think, because we have a fiduciary responsibility, which means that we have to make recommendations to our clients that we believe to the bottom of our heart are in their best interest, or we don't make that recommendation. If we're going to make an error, we err on the side of the client over ourselves every single time, or we risk being disbarred, if you will.
Okay. Wayne, how did you get into, you're a Panther, you get out of college. What brought you to where you're at now?
Well, I took the slow route. I graduated, and then I did not have any money at all when I graduated. I was about as poor got, So I decided I couldn't really go into financial planning at that point in time, and I didn't. I wound up going into business forms sales. And I did that for 24 years. So I was a little slow to the dance, if you will. But I kind of made the decision that that particular field, I went into it originally because I thought, my documentation will never go out of style. If business has bad results, we'll document it. If they have good results, we'll document it, and I'll always have a job. I never thought of Bill Gates. and computerization kind of came about and took away some of what I was doing. So I became panicked. I thought, I'm not probably going to have this thing last as long as I need it to last before I need to retire. So my hobby was sort of self-financial planning. I can't say I was very good at it, but I always tried my best to make good decisions with my earnings and my money. Later on, when I decided to go someplace else, the direction I headed was to do financial planning. So started taking all kinds of tests, started taking classes, and then one thing led to another, and I've been doing this now this is the 16th year, I guess.
So you have been with ICA Wealth Advisors the 16 years?
No, I started out with the Principal Financial Group. I spent my first 9 years there, mostly because I thought that'd be a fantastic place to learn the basics of the business. And if I ever had an issue where I didn't completely understand something, I had 10,000 employees downtown that I could go talk to somebody about who was probably a specialist in that one question. So it was a nice place to start. But then as I grew, I think it got to the point where I needed to have something a little bit more independent, if you will, where I make decisions make recommendations not based on my knowledge of one particular company. Well, although that's a great company, I'm more in a position now where I shop multiple companies, if you will, multiple products, if you will, multiple ideas, and try to find the ideas that make the most amount of sense for what my client is hoping to accomplish.
So through that course, when did you become a certified financial planner?
You don't become certified until you've done it. And so I was doing classwork after the hours that I was working. And so I did it part-time from a distance. I chose to go through the American College of Financial Services in Pennsylvania. They have an excellent program. They're probably the leader in the financial industry with generating certified financial planners. And so I was able to do that over time. That took me about 3.5 years to get through all the courses. Had a little bit of a roadblock there because of my mother got ill, and I had to take care of that before she passed away. So that detoured me a little bit, but then I finally made it and passed the exam, and I don't want to ever have to take that exam again.
So how you talked about something that intrigued me. You make decisions based on what you truly believe is the best in the client's interest from the bottom of your heart. I loved how you said that. So with that, how did you choose ICA Wealth Advisors?
It was interesting. ICA Wealth Advisors has been around ICA stands for Investment Centers of America, which is a broker-dealer, much like Merrill Lynch, much like Princor Financial Services, where I was at Principal. And they have a banking background. So by nature of a bank, they're conservative in what they go about. I am a conservative guy as well. So I like the fact that there's a lot of conservative solutions out there, but it also has aggressive solutions if that's what we need. So I thought the menu of opportunities and the services at ICA were a little bit different, a little bit better for what I was trying to ultimately do with my client, and elected to make the decision because of that.
Okay, wonderful. Let's get to know Wayne a little bit. So you went to UNI.
Yes.
You were a Panther. What about before that? Are you from Iowa?
I'm from Cedar Rapids, born and raised in Cedar Rapids. My father worked for 49 years at the Quaker Oats Company right on the river making life cereal.
Wonderful.
He is now retired and living well in Cedar Rapids. My mother worked at Armstrong's department store, and that was kind of like a Yonkers for those of you who may not know. And she loved that. And then I had grandparents in the area as well. My grandfather worked at Quaker Oats, and as a matter of fact, I worked one summer for Quaker Oats.
And that was enough to know that you wanted to go to UNI?
No, I enjoyed Quaker Oats. I think the 1 week I spent on spring break working at Wilson's meat packing plant was enough to tell me
that was what tipped you.
Yeah.
Do you have siblings?
I don't. I'm an only child.
Okay.
I did have a lot of cousins, however, that lived close by, and we were close, saw each other every week and that sort of thing. So I only had to fight 2 maybe out of the 7 days.
How did you end up in Des Moines?
It was a job transfer. When I graduated from Northern Iowa, my first job was in Des Moines, and then I Worked here for 4 or 5 years before I was transferred to Cleveland, and then I had several other transfers, mostly around the Midwest, before I ultimately got an offer to come back to Des Moines. And I would say Des Moines is easily our favorite spot. We love the area.
So you say we, so there must be a better half?
They're much better half, much better half. I'm married for 38 years to my wife,
Congratulations.
Thank you. Marine.
Yes.
And we have 2 boys. We have our oldest, Nate, who is an engineer living in Kansas City, married 3 years now, and is expecting his first, which will be our first.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And then our youngest son, Jason, lives in Urbandale. So, Waukee.
Waukee.
Yeah.
Oh, they kind of butt right there together.
Yeah, I kind of look at them as the same.
Look together, absolutely.
You can see Urbandale from where he lives. So.
So there had to have been somebody in your life that impacted you the most. Who would be that person, that mentor?
I've had multiple mentors, but I think if I look at the people who had the most impact on me, it was definitely my parents and my grandparents. I was fortunate in that my home was one where I knew that you had to work hard if you wanted to be successful. My parents made good decisions in life. They tried to be frugal with their money. They tried to live below their means. They tried to their best to educate me and to give me opportunities that they wanted for me. And I'm very, very thankful for that. I had a grandmother that lived around the corner. So it's kind of like whenever I got in trouble at home, I could run over to Grandma's house and get spoiled. That was fun.
So are you going to be that kind of a grandparent?
You betcha. Yeah, we're going to be very much involved. At least we hope so.
Wonderful. So are you a reader?
I'm very much a reader, but not like you might imagine. I really don't do any reading for fun. I'm reading probably 1/2 to 2/3 of my day is reading. And so I'm reading financial journals. I'm reading financial newspapers, magazines. I'm reading investment statements, those sorts of things. And by the time I get home, I don't want to read another thing.
You're read out?
Yes.
So if you had 1 hour to spend with anyone, living or not, who would that person be?
That's an easy one for me. I've always thought Ben Franklin.
Oh, what a good choice.
I really admire his story and the fact that he was in the printing business and then became very, very successful. You know, we had something in common. We were both in the printing business. And but being one of the fathers of our country, just to have an opportunity to sit down with him and maybe show him around the place, maybe show him around Urbandale and say, what do you think, Ben? You know, what do we do well? What kind of work do you think we still have left to do?
Wonderful.
I think that'd be great.
Well, Wayne, thank you so much for being here. Again, Wayne Fry with ICA Wealth Advisors. And again, I believe that his information has been up on the screen as far as contact for his phone number. And please remember, Wayne is one of our great Urbandale Chamber of Commerce members. So thank you for joining us today and learning more about Wayne. And then also remember, Tuesdays are special at the Chamber. Every Tuesday from 9 to 10 a.m., we do Meet the Chamber, where you can learn about the Chamber benefits. You can learn about lots of different things. And also, one of your first networking events can be that morning. We always have the coffee brewing. So thank you for joining us. Spotlight on Urbandale. We're the Urbandale Chamber of Commerce, and I'm Janice Wissenand. And thank you for joining us.